Just a couple of clarifications. With regards to the previous video on cannibalism and the one before that, where I alluded to slave-master morality, when it comes to cannibalism, I'm not actually exploring why we are opposed to it. That's another subject. What I am exploring here is, why is it an anathema? Why is it a taboo? Why is it the sort of thing that you must simply not entertain as a concept? If cannibalism isn't strong enough for you, let's go for the taboo du jour these days. Pedophilia. I don't want to get into a discussion on pedophilia. I simply want to use these, and in this case I'm using cannibalism, as an example of a taboo. We know why we're opposed to cannibalism. It's just, why is it a taboo? Why do we believe that we have to be that strident in our opposition to it? To make it something that is a pure anathema. You must not do that. End of thinking. You don't even consider it. That's essentially what I'm referring to. It's not why are we opposed to cannibalism, and I'm not making a case for cannibalism at all. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go to my grave never having tasted human flesh, and I don't think I will have missed out on anything. Or at least I hope I go to my grave without ever having been in a circumstance where that may be the only thing to eat. Could happen, I guess, hypothetically. Now, the second thing is the slave-master issue. When I talk about a slave point of view, I'm not talking about the point of view of somebody who is subservient to other human beings. No, not at all. What I'm saying is, there seems to be a point of view of reality itself that I, from my perspective, am nothing more than a puppet. I'm nothing more than a biological unit that is subject to iron laws that I cannot escape, and that's all that there is. I am nothing more than a slave to my evolutionary nature. There's an element of hard determinism in here. There's no such thing as any choice at all in anything. All choice is an illusion. We are simply subjects. That to me is a slave morality. Life is something that happens to me. It's not something over which I have any control at all. Now, this, to me, takes place even before, I think, in some people's minds, even before they start to go into what they actually believe, or what they actually find convincing. I think that the slave-master thing is so fundamental that it's difficult for one side to even understand the other's point of view. The slave is either contented or resigned to living in the matrix. The slave is palliated or disciplined to stay in line. Palliated by Walmart, by hamburgers, by Christmas, by patriotism, by going to church every Sunday, all this kind of thing. Or kept in line by threats. The police will get you if you decide to behave in an anarchic way. So it's just that your desires are checked at every turn, and your options are very limited. All that the slave sees is where their freedom of movement is limited. The master would would accept all of the above, or in many cases may accept all of the above, or any of the above, accept his or her own mortality, accept the fact that there are rules in society that have to be adhered to, accept the fact that, we're subject to gravity, we're subject to mortality. But within the context of all of those limitations, there is room to maneuver, and the hypothetical we as the master, wants to push those limits to their ultimate possibility, wants to get the absolute most freedom out of whatever paltry amount of freedom is accorded to us by the happenstance of what we are. I am a human, humans have limitations. Gnothi se auton. Know thyself, know what you are, and know what you are not. You're a man, you're not a god. Okay, so I'm not a god. Does that mean I'm a slave? No.